أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. I am Dr. Said Anwar, Professor of Pharmacology, Dean Basic Medical Sciences. I welcome all of you in third year MBBS, and at the same time this is the first year of your clinical sites also. During the whole tenure of your this 5 years, few of the subjects you have already studied, for example, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and now in third year you will study at least 4 subjects: pharmacology, therapeutics, pathology, forensic medicine, toxicology, and behavioral sciences. And the next fourth or final year, all the remaining, especially clinical subjects, in which ENT, eye, medicine, surgery, gynae ops, and allied subjects also like orthopedic surgery, etc. Now, it's very important to have the understanding of pharmacology, or in other words, concept of pharmacology is very much important, not only for the subject of particular pharmacology itself, but at the same time, later on, its application for your clinical practice, especially on medical and allied sides, and at the same time, different gynae of surgery, etc. Every branch of clinical side, there is a very vital role of pharmacology. Now, let's define pharmacology. You have already seen this definition from the previous lecture of Professor Maqsood Ahmad Saab, that pharmacology is a branch of science which deals with two aspects: pharmacokinetic aspects and the pharmacodynamic aspects of the drug. So, if anybody asks you to define pharmacology, you can simply say that pharmacology is a branch of science which deals with pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic aspect of the drug. Obviously, then later on, pharmacokinetic itself can be defined, it can be explained in such a way that pharmacokinetic is a branch of pharmacology now, which deals with absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of drug. And second, pharmacodynamic aspect means it's that branch of pharmacology which deals with the pharmacological effects and the utility of those effects, and obviously mechanism of action of those effects, how those effects are produced. Let's have an explanation in this flowchart style. When we give drug or a prodrug, remember, drug always is known as an active form of drug of preparation, while the prodrug is an inactive of the preparation. So it can be given in any way, either in the form of drug or a prodrug. When given through any route, it can be given through mouth, that is orally, or it can be given through injection like intravenous injection, intramuscular, or through inhalation, etc. Through any route. When these drugs or products are given, they get absorbed. Now, absorption means enters into the blood from site of application. For example, if we have given the drug orally and it has gone inside into the stomach and small intestine and other parts of the GIT, from that side, first of all, the molecules, they get separated. There is a disintegration of the tablet or the capsule, etc. Individual molecules are separated out. Then the cross membranes of all these stomach or intestine, like that, and then enter into the portal circulation. So once it has entered portal circulation, we said the drug has absorbed. It is the same meaning as we have been studying in physiology. So when it is absorbed, so it has to go into systemic circulation. Now try to understand it. Okay, when we have given the drug orally or through mouth and it has absorbed into portal circulation, First of all, from portal circulation, the drug molecules will go to the liver, and from liver, the molecules will enter into systemic circulation. While on the other side, if we have opted for some injectable side from intravenous or intramuscular, such as even sublingual under the tongue, or transdermal, or through inhalation, here all the molecules, when they get absorbed after crossing the concerned membranes, they will directly enter into systemic circulation. From the systemic circulation, these drugs are distributed to the various types of tissues. These tissues may be those where drugs are acting, but other than that, they may be sites where they're just going and staying there, acting as a storage site, or they may be getting metabolized from the metabolic sites, or the excretory side they are getting excreted. We know the major organ in the body for metabolism is the liver, and similarly the major organ for excretion is the kidney. Here two terminologies you are observing: distribution and elimination. Distribution simply means, first of all, when the drug is absorbed and entered into systemic circulation, the molecules are now flowing along the flow of the blood all over the body. This is the first distribution into the blood circulation itself. And then from the blood, the drug molecules are being distributed to the other body tissues. Those may be brain or skeletal muscles or the bone or the other organ, etc., etc. So they get distributed. Remember again, when they are being distributed to the other body, they have to cross the membrane if coming in their way. For example, if they have to enter into brain, they have to cross the blood-brain barrier. Similarly, other organs, these membrane may be single layer or double layer or multiple layer, etc. But always remember at the site of distribution also membranes are present to whom these molecules have to cross and then enter into the tissue. Second terminology you have seen, that's elimination. Remember, elimination simply means non-availability of the active form of the drug. I've told you the drug itself is only that substance which is active. If it is not active, it is not a drug. It may be prodrug, it may be just a dummy preparation, it may be any other thing. But if it is having the capability to produce the effect, it is active. Now what happened? After metabolism, up till now we have thousands of drugs in our drug list available all over the world. Remember, majority of the drugs up till now available after metabolism, their metabolites, they lose the capability to produce the effect, that no more activity of the metabolites are there. So what we say, after metabolism, the majority of the drugs, they become inactive. Usually we say like that, after metabolism, majority of the drugs, they become inactive. So when they become inactive, we say they are eliminated. The remaining, that may be minor part of the number of drugs, which even after metabolism, that metabolites, they don't become inactive. They may still retain the activity. That may be of any type of activity. That activity may be resembling to the parent drug itself, or it may be some other types of useful activity, or it may be absolutely some toxic activity also. Any type of activity those metabolites be having, although metabolism has occurred. So in such a condition, what we will say, okay, metabolism has occurred, but elimination of the drug has not happened. No more inactivity. Still, their metabolites are active. So now try to make a concept. Okay, now in the body, we have seen the majority of the drugs After metabolism, they become inactive, they are eliminated. They may still be present inside the body, but they don't retain any pharmacal activity. Okay, we say elimination. On the other hand, if they are retaining the activity, so not only they are present inside the body, they are retaining the activity, they can go on producing their effects until they move to certain site, for example, to the excretory site, for example, kidney, and from where they get excreted. Excretion simply means we know to get rid of the molecules outside the body. For example, from the kidney through urine, from GIT through feces, from lungs through exhalation, through sweat, through milk, etc., etc. So there may be variety of routes of excretion, but once they have left the body, no more available for their activity. Now again we say in this way the drug is eliminated. So that is why elimination is happening either through metabolism or excretion. This whole thing, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, is known as pharmacokinetic. While they may be going to the site where the drugs are producing the effects, those vary from drug to drug. Few drugs are having more effects on heart, others are having more skeletal muscles, others are having more on brain, and so on. So there may be site of action where these drugs are going, binding, and producing effects. These effects may be therapeutically useful effects. Remember, all these effects are undercoming the heading of pharmacological effects. So these if usable, beneficial, we are using them for the therapy, we are calling therapeutic effect. Or later on they are becoming useful. But at the same time, if these effects are not useful, they may be either side effects, or if due to toxic level, to the very much high level, we call them as toxic effects. Remember, usually toxic effects are the extensive exaggerated state of the pharmacological effects. For example, you might have seen or heard about the name of atropine, which is the blocker of acetylcholine. So usually they are blocking the effect of acetylcholine. So that is why the acetylcholine, which was producing this salivation, they will decrease the salivation. So there may be some sort of dryness in the mouth. But if due to toxic levels of atropine, there's severe dryness of such a level where even there's difficulty to talk, to chew, to swallow, etc., that may be due to toxic effects. This whole scenario is known as pharmacodynamic, and collectively, as we have seen previously, both are pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic. Another important thing to remember for whole of your life, that is, remember every drug due to its peculiar or specific molecular structure is having specific pharmacology. Again, specific pharmacology means specific pharmacokinetic and specific thermodynamic. In a specific way, they are getting absorbed, getting distributed, metabolized, or excreted. Similarly, due to the specific structure, specific sites for where they are having attraction and going and bind them and producing their effects in a specific way, specific mechanism. Now, here, just like our DNA or our thumb impression, apparently they are similar to each other. But on technical ground, we know every person is having his own DNA pattern and own specific thumb impression. Similarly, here absorption of so many drugs, distribution, or other of the pharmacokinetic or pharmacodynamic of so many drugs may be resembling to each other. But if we see critically, they are having obviously different and distinct pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic. As the word is showing, kinetic means movement. So in this way, during absorption, distribution, metabolization, the drug molecules are moved from one place to another. While in case of dynamic, as the name is saying, dynamic means activity. So action. So due to specific, a peculiar molecular structure, they are having specific or peculiar effects on the body physiology or body biochemistry. Remember, when we say pharmacological effect, what is effect? It is simply change in the body function. So if they are happening on the normal physiology, they will be changes in the normal body system. But usually we are using them for some problem. So when problem is appearing, when there is abnormal physiology, when there is any change in the physiology, so that will produce the symptom. So usually we want to again make the body structure normalize, again normal physiological state, we want to bring that state back. So those effects are produced then by drug. So as a previously said, specific effects may be good or bad. Good, which are useful; bad, which cannot be useful. Similarly, they may be used and they have specific mechanism. Again, that may be resembling. A variety of drugs may be acting through anaphylaxis or through receptors or through enzyme inhibition or stimulation, etc., etc. All over the process going on inside the body. But there may be some specific way by which we can recognize the specificity of those drugs.